So, in order to put this week's learning into practice, I tested out with someone whom I usually not enjoy talking to. She's not mean or anything, but we just have different perspective about things, and there's probably a certain level of language barrier between us that I often have to guess her meaning, which is kind of tiring for me. So in this meeting, we are going to discuss about the egg hunt that we are going to organize for the kids in the family. To begin with, I particularly picked the location to meet up at a dessert house that we both like. I think the relaxing environment will help me ease my mood and stay joyful the entire time. So after we order, I particularly find a table with less people walking around and less distraction. I had myself set with the walkway behind me so that I can just stay focused looking at her eyes as I speak. So we start the conversation discussing about the event, and I brought a notebook with me to make sure that my head and my hands are occupied just with the content and nothing else. So the conversation went on for a while, and we had a lot of exchange. We were both excited about the event and we can feel the passion of one another. I won't say that I'm 100% with her the entire time. I still wander off a minute or two when I felt confused or not agree. But with the notes on hand, I can systematically keep track of the logic and ask her to elaborate or explain if needed. So I'm not worried about losing track of the conversation. We also start crossing out ideas that we didn't like. The notes become lighter, and so is my mind. I didn't keep track of the time, but I think it went very fruitful and satisfying. Reflecting on the experience, I think that a mindful conversations tends to shift my focus from the presentation of the person to the actual content. I also became less judgmental towards her way of speaking because my mind keep processing the data. And I realized that the so-called language barrier or different point of view can be avoided. Actually, they don't really matter. They can be overcome if we are both committed to reach the objective together. So to summarize, the tools that I found the most useful is the notebook. Not only it reminds me that the objective of the conversation, but because all I can see are words, I only need to use my logic to keep me going. They are factual that I do not have to make unnecessary judgment towards the other person. Second, I think that the environment or space is also very important. Often at work, when I see all my colleagues are typing their keyboard like crazy, I will also tend to pick up my pace for no reason. And when I start pacing, I may lose my patience and focus that eventually the conversation will become mindless. Most importantly, I like the efficiency that came out of the conversation this time. Multitasking may sound tempting as I can cross out many things from the to-do list quickly. But when I do things in a rush, there is a good 30 to 50% chance that this task will come back. I'd rather dedicate the time to process a task qualitatively than doing multiple tasks at the same time with poor quality. I do find this benefit most convincing for me to keep practicing mindful conversation in the future. This is all I wanted to share this time. I hope you enjoy watching this video and I look forward to hear about your experience. Bye.